Yo, what's good, Jets Nation? This is Richie from Jets Media, and in this video, I will be bringing you guys my flight preview to the Jets vs. Colts game that will be kicking off around 4 o'clock on Sunday. This is going to be a very interesting game. I'm going to bring you guys the latest injury report for the Jets, the game plan, how the Jets could pull off the upset, and all that good stuff. And before I get into the preview, just want to mention I finally have Jets Media merch like I mentioned in my previous videos. Here it is, the big logos on the back. And my best friend, Paul, he has a clothing business called Corrupted Closet, where he basically takes vintage clothing and he bleaches them and makes them custom and one of a kind. So I sent them over some Jets Media merch. This is what he did to them. This is a bleach effect. So I'm going to have a standard black t-shirt and then the bleach version on my website shortly. So stay tuned for that. And with that being said, let's jump right into the flight preview. So this game is going to be really interesting. This is definitely the most winnable game for the Jets so far this season, but at the same time, the Colts definitely are a good team. So starting off with the injuries, this is obviously the worst part of the report. It's crazy how banged up the Jets are. I mean, there's a lot of teams dealing with injuries, so we can't really complain that much, but still, I mean, I'm not going to mention the guys that are already on IR, such as Le'Veon Bell, Denzel Mims, and those guys. So the people that are not on IR that will be either questionable, doubtful, or out for this game is Brashad Perriman. He's dealing with an ankle injury. Jamison Crowder, hamstring. George Fant has a concussion. Connor McGovern has a hamstring injury. Ashton Davis is dealing with a groin, and Quincy Wilson has a concussion. So, these are big guys that are going to be out, and, we're not going to have one starting receiver. Not one starting receiver for this Jets team, not for Sam Darnold. It's going to be really insane. And now our two starting offensive linemen looking like they're not going to be playing as well. So we're going to have a backup center and a backup right tackle. And it's not looking good for the injuries. Hopefully we get that next man up mentality. So moving on from the injuries, how can the Jets go out there and beat the Colts? First of all, who's replacing the guys that are going to be injured? Josh Malone is going to be playing receiver. Chris Hogan, Braxton Berrios, and we might have to elevate Lawrence Cager, which I'm really happy about. On the offensive line, Josh Andrews will probably be center, and Chuma Edoga will probably be at right tackle. And Ashton Davis is just a backup, so hopefully he can play, but he's not really that important if Marcus May and Bradley McDougald are both healthy. And Quincy Wilson, he started the game against the 49ers, and he left, and then Pierre Desir came in. So those are the guys that are out who will be replacing. So going into the game plan, right? The Colts have the top-ranked defense in the NFL through the first 2 weeks in the season. They made Kirk Cousins look like an absolute terrible quarterback. Kirk Cousins not looked at the best quarterback in the world, and he's overpaid. But if you look at his numbers on the Vikings, he definitely is a guy that's a solid average quarterback, and they made him look terrible. I mean, he had 110 passing yards, 3 interceptions. He had negative fantasy points. They just made Kirk Cousins look really bad. And I understand Kirk Cousins is not the best quarterback, so it's not that big of a deal. But this defense is hot. They got, DeForest Buckner. I'm pretty sure they have Justin Houston. They got a lot of guys on that defensive front, and they got a really good defense. So this Jets offense is ice cold, and this Colts defense is red hot. So it's not going to be the best matchup for us. And, especially with all of our wide receivers out and Le'Veon Bell out, I don't know who's going to be helping out Sam Darnold playmaking-wise, but Adam Gase is going to have to get creative. Has he been creative the first 2 weeks? Absolutely not. He needs to have a wake-up call and completely switch up his playbook because he's way too conservative. Enough with the horizontal plays. We need to get vertical down the field. We need to see Chris Herndon get the ball down the field. We haven't seen that once all year. Makes no sense. That's what they need to do. With no Le'Veon Bell and no starting receivers on the outside or even the slot, we need to get both tight ends involved. We need Chris Herndon and Ryan Griffin both to be getting at least 5+ targets this game. And it doesn't make sense that that's not happening. You know what I mean? Sam Darnold shows that he's really comfortable with his tight ends in his first 2 years in the NFL. His rookie season, 2018, he found Chris Herndon all the time. His sophomore season last year, he found Ryan Griffin 5 times in the end zone. We haven't seen the tight ends getting involved. I understand Chris Herndon is definitely a disappointment in terms of his, week 1 against Buffalo. He had that fumble. Week 2 against the 49ers, he dropped a touchdown pass from Sam Darnold. That was an excellent throw on the run, beautifully done by Sam, and unfortunately Chris Herndon could not reel it in. So he needs to step up, but at the same time, we need Adam Gase to get them involved and call plays where they're going down vertically. We don't have any play calls getting the defense on their heels. It's like way too conservative, too many halfback dives up the middle with Frank Gore. So going into the running game, how I want Adam Gase and this Jets offense to work, right? We need to run to the left side behind Mekhi Becton. Becton's been saying himself, I go up to Adam Gase after every single offensive drive, and I tell him, run to the left side, run behind me. I mean, listen to the man. If you look at his tape, I broke down his tape on my channel. And he's been dominant in his first 2 weeks. He's the only guy in this offensive line that looks absolutely insane and elite. So if Adam Gase is smart, we should run to the left side and definitely not give Frank Gore 20-plus carries, because I don't understand that logic. It's kind of like you're punting on the season in Adam Gase's mind. It's like we have a 37-year-old halfback. I love Frank Gore. He's a future Hall of Fame veteran. Nothing but love for Frank. But with Le'Veon Bell out, we need to share the carries. We got a rookie La'Mical Pirine, who looks really promising, and I think he should share the reps with Frank Gore. Kalen Ballage, I think he looked decent in the garbage time last week against the Niners. So we have three guys, and Josh Adams, he got the ball 4th down last week, so who knows? There's a lot of guys that are going to be playing the running back position. We need to get all of them involved. I really hope La'Mical Pirine is the one that gets the highest volume of reps ahead of Frank Gore, because he's a guy that can be on the outside. Frank Gore's more downhill, up the middle, and he missed a lot of holes. I mean, if you look at the tape against the Niners, there were some holes that were opening up, and Frank Gore missed them. Le'Veon Bell would not have missed those holes. I think La'Mical Pirine would not have missed those holes, and Pirine is an explosive running back that can take it to the house. He has breakaway speed, so I think Pirine needs to get involved. I think he should replace Le'Veon Bell in terms of in the passing game. He's really excellent in the passing game, so hopefully Gase can do that, but at the moment, I have no confidence in Adam Gase. So hopefully he can prove me wrong, which I've said 50 times, and he hasn't. So we'll see. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball, we're going to have to stop the run. This Colts offense is all about the run game. They have an excellent offensive line with Quinn and Nelson at left guard. They have an excellent rookie running back in Jonathan Taylor, who is taking all the reps since Marlon Mack went down for the season. So, they're a ground and pound type of team. This Jets defense is known to be best at stopping the run. We've been struggling. Last week we gave up that 80-yard touchdown to Raheem Mostert on the first play of the game, which was absolutely insane. So, Greg Williams really has to get these guys to tackle. We're leading the league in missed tackles, and it's unacceptable. This defense does not look the same as last year, and I'm pretty sure the reason for that is Jamal Adams is gone. I know Jets fans don't want to hear this, but Jamal Adams was a big reason why we were 7th in the league in defense last year and 2nd in the league in stopping the run. So without him, we need guys to step up. I want to see Marcus May get more involved. He definitely had a disappointing week 2 compared to his week 1 performance. Hopefully Quinn Williams can build off of his performance against the 49ers, because he looked dominant. He had 2 sacks, multiple tackles for a loss. So if he can be getting to Phillip Rivers up the middle and getting that pass rush and stopping Jonathan Taylor behind the line of scrimmage and containing him, I think we have a chance of stopping their offense. My only concern is I don't really think this offense can put up points against the Colts defense. This defense is legit, and especially with all these playmakers that are going down with injuries, and we have 2 offensive linemen out, it's not looking good for the Jets this week. Honestly, I'm bringing you guys straight up. We got embarrassed the first 2 weeks against the Bills and 49ers, and now we're going up against the Indianapolis Colts, who are coming off an impressive victory against the Vikings. So this is going to be a very interesting game. My prediction is the Jets lose this one, to be real with you guys. I'm looking at, can Sam Darnold survive this game with a really good defense and with not a lot of talent around him and 2 injured offensive linemen? Can Adam Gase get Sam Darnold in rhythm? Can he call a good game for Sam? Can he get him on the run? We need to get Sam Darnold comfortable in the system. He looks like he's not comfortable in the system. All throughout the offseason, we kept hearing Sam Darnold understands his playbook. Everything is coming faster. What does he understand better? Out routes and screen passes and halfback dives up the middle of Frank Gore? That's not an offense, you know what I mean? I saw this stat from Michael Naney on Twitter, who is excellent content on Twitter. Make sure you check him out. It was something like the Jets are 2nd in the league on first down running, meaning yards per carry, they're like 2nd on first down, and then they don't do any play actions. They're like last in play actions. If you have a good offense that can run the ball 5 yards on first down, that sets up play action beautifully, and Adam Gase doesn't do it. We need to get Sam Darnold on the move. We need to get him in a play action bootleg. That's where Darnold's the best. He's not the best at sitting in the pocket. He's not an Eli Manning type of quarterback where he can sit there, make the reads when there's pressure in his face and there's nobody open. We need to get Sam Darnold on the move, because that's where he flourishes the most. That touchdown he had in garbage time against the Niners, that was a broken down play where he escaped pressure and rolled to his left, and he was on the move. Sam Darnold had that, almost touchdown to Chris Herndon. That was him on the move. That's what he's best at. Sam Darnold's a very low-key, underrated athlete, and I don't see Adam Gase utilizing his legs and his mobility at all, and we really frustrates me. I really don't think Adam Gase is the guy to coach Sam Darnold. I know there's a lot of guys that think Sam Darnold is not the guy. I'm not that one. I don't really think Trevor Lawrence would make that much of a difference, but I understand he's a generational talent. I'm not going to really evaluate Sam Darnold's if he's a bust or not until we get 16 games of Sam Darnold and I can evaluate it. I'm not going to write off Sam Darnold after 3 games in the NFL in 2020. I need to see him have a long season and evaluate him after that. So that really does it for my flight preview. Leave a comment down below what you guys expect from this game. Obviously, a lot of Jets fans are going into this game and just expecting the same as the last 2 weeks. There's not a lot of hope. We're not getting healthier. We're getting worse. But, only thing we can say is hopefully Mekhi Becton and Quinton Williams continue their dominant play in the trenches and we can get healthier for next week because, these injuries are piling up and it's really unfortunate. But at the same time, the better teams can deal with adversity, deal with injuries, and the coaching staff needs to have that next man up mentality. So there's no excuses. The Jets are going to Indianapolis and hopefully we can pull off that upset. Give me some score predictions down below. Comment down below a Jet emoji as well if you watched to this moment. Stay tuned for Jets Media merch. That does it for this video. Let's go Jets. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Peace.